Okay, so I've gotten a lot of messages asking, Sarah, what do you actually do all day now? And I get it. When you leave a structured 9 to 5, people assume you're either living in blissful freedom or spiraling into purposeless chaos. The truth? It's somewhere in between. I'm Sarah. It's been 2 weeks since I left my 28-year software engineering career, and today I'm taking you through what a real day actually looks like. Not the highlight reel, the whole thing. The good, the boring, and the, wait, that took how long? Let me start by saying I don't have a routine yet. I have a rhythm. And some days the rhythm is more like jazz. Unpredictable, a little chaotic, but somehow it works. Here's yesterday, a pretty typical Tuesday. 6:47 a.m. I wake up, not because of an alarm, because my body just wakes up. This still feels weird. For 28 years, I was jolted awake by my phone. Now, I just open my eyes. I lie there for a minute, listening. There's a bird outside my window. I don't know what kind. I should probably learn that. I grab my phone, old habits, but instead of emails, I'm checking the weather. Because today, the weather actually matters. If it rains, I can't work on the fence. I make coffee. This takes longer than it should because I'm actually making it, not pressing a button on a Keurig between meetings. I'm grinding beans, boiling water, using a pour-over thing my neighbor gave me. It's meditative. Or maybe I'm just slow now. I take my coffee outside. It's cold, like really cold, 40 degrees. But I sit on the porch anyway, wrapped in a blanket, and I just sit for 30 minutes. No phone, no podcast, just coffee and quiet. 2 weeks ago, this would have felt like wasting time. Now, it's the best part of my day. 7:30 a.m. I come back inside and check my freelance email. I've got 2 project requests. One is a quick consultation, probably 2 hours of work. The other is a 3-week contract debugging a legacy system. The pay is good. I respond to both. Schedule the consultation for Thursday. Politely decline the 3-week contract. Old me would have taken it. Would have said yes to the money, yes to the validation of being needed. New me? I'm learning to say no. Because 3 weeks of full-time work would eat the entire reason I left. 8:15 a.m. Breakfast. I make actual eggs on a stove with toast. I eat at the table, not standing at the counter between Slack messages. This still feels luxurious. I'm reading a book while I eat. Fiction. Something I haven't done in years. 9 a.m. Okay, now the work begins. But not the work I'm paid for. The work of living here. Today's project. Fixing the fence in the back pasture. There's a section that's leaning, and if it falls, I don't have a barrier between my property and the woods. Which means deer. Lots of deer. My neighbor Jim is coming over to help. He offered. I didn't even ask. Apparently, that's just what people do here. We work for 2 hours, digging post holes, mixing concrete, lifting rails. It's physical. My hands hurt. My back hurts. But it's satisfying in a way coding never was, because at the end, I can see what I built. Jim teaches me how to properly set a post, how to check if it's level, how to brace it while the concrete sets. He's 68 years old, and he's teaching me things I should probably already know. I don't feel embarrassed, I feel grateful. 11:30 a.m. Jim leaves. I'm sweaty and tired and covered in dirt. I take a shower, a long one, because I can, because there's no 12 p.m. stand-up meeting. 12:15 p.m. Lunch. Leftovers from yesterday. I eat on the porch again. It's warmed up a little. I'm noticing I spend a lot of time on this porch now. In my old life, my apartment had a balcony. I think I used it twice in 5 years. I check my phone. There are comments on my last video. People sharing their own panic attacks, their own fears about leaving, their own questions about whether they're brave enough. I read every single one. This feels important, like I'm building something, not a product, a community. 1 p.m. Freelance work. I've got a consultation call at 2, so I spend an hour prepping, reviewing the client's code base, making notes. This is the work I'm good at, the work that still lights something up in my brain. But here's the difference. I'm doing it because I want to, not because a sprint deadline is looming, not because my manager is checking my velocity, because I chose this project. That changes everything. 2 p.m., 3:30 p.m., the consultation call. It goes well. The client has a gnarly database optimization problem. I walk them through 3 potential solutions. They're grateful. They ask if I can do the implementation. I say I'll think about it. Old me would have said yes immediately. New me is learning to pause. 3:45 p.m. I should probably do something productive, but I'm tired, so I don't. I lie on the couch and read my book for an hour. No guilt. No internal voice saying, "You should be working." Just reading. This is still the hardest part, giving myself permission to rest without earning it. 5 p.m. I start thinking about dinner. In my old life, this meant DoorDash or a sad salad from the work cafeteria. Here, it means actually cooking. I'm making pasta. From scratch. Well, not the pasta itself. I'm not that ambitious yet. But I'm making the sauce, with tomatoes from the farmer's market. I chop garlic. I saute onions. I let it simmer for an hour. The house smells incredible. 6:30 p.m. Dinner. Alone. This is the loneliness I talked about in my last video. It's real. I eat at the table. I'm still reading my book. But there's a part of me that misses having someone to talk to. Not a roommate, not a partner, just someone. I'm thinking about getting a dog. 7:30 p.m. I check my project list. There are about 17 things that need fixing on this property. The porch railing is loose. The bathroom faucet drips. There's a window that won't close all the way. I pick one, the faucet. I YouTube how to fix a dripping faucet. I watch 3 videos. I get my tools. I try. I fail. The faucet now drips faster. I laugh. Because what else can you do? I'll call a plumber tomorrow. Or ask Jim. This is humbling work. 8:30 p.m. I sit on the porch again. It's dark now, cold again, but the stars are incredible. I grew up in the suburbs, then I lived in cities. I forgot stars look like this. I think about my old coworkers. They're probably just finishing their day, closing laptops at 8:30 or 9 p.m., ordering dinner, too tired to cook, scrolling Twitter, dreading tomorrow. I don't miss it. 9 p.m. I come inside. I edit some footage for my next YouTube video. This is new. I'm teaching myself video editing. It's frustrating. The learning curve is steep, but it's also fun. I'm creating something that's mine, not for a company, not for a client, for me. 10:30 p.m. I get ready for bed. I check my email one last time. There's a message from someone who watched my panic attack video. She's 47. She's been in finance for 23 years. She's miserable. She's scared to leave. She's asking if I have any advice. I write back. I tell her, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to take the first step. I hit send. 11 p.m. I'm in bed. Reading, not scrolling, not worrying about tomorrow's meetings, just reading. I fall asleep around 11:30, no alarm set. So that's a day. It's not glamorous. It's not a productivity influencer's dream schedule. There's no morning routine with green juice and meditation and journaling. There's no color-coded calendar or optimized workflow. It's just life. Slower, quieter, more intentional. Here's what I'm learning about days without a job. They're not empty. They're full. Just full of different things. Instead of meetings, I have projects. Instead of emails, I have conversations with neighbors. Instead of performance reviews, I have the satisfaction of fixing a fence, or trying to fix a faucet and failing. But here's the thing, I'm not bored. Everyone warned me I'd be bored, that without the structure of a job, I'd feel aimless. And yeah, some days I feel a little lost. But bored? No. Because here's what nobody tells you. When you're not exhausted all the time, you actually have energy for curiosity. I'm learning about birds, and carpentry, and video editing, and how to make pasta sauce. These aren't productive skills. They won't go on a resume, but they make me feel alive. The hardest part? It's not the lack of structure. It's unlearning the idea that my worth is tied to my productivity. I still catch myself thinking, did I do enough today? Did I earn my rest? Was I productive enough? And then I have to remind myself, that's the thinking that burned me out in the first place. Some days, I'm really productive. I work on freelance projects. I fix things around the property. I make progress. Other days, I read for 4 hours and take a nap. And I'm learning that both are okay. The financial reality check. Let's talk about money for a second, because I know that's what people really want to know. This month, I made about $3,200 from freelance work. My expenses were around $2,800. That leaves me with $400 for savings, for emergencies, for the 17 things that will inevitably break. It's tight. I'm not going to pretend it's not. But here's the trade-off. I made $3,200 working about 60 hours this month. That's roughly $50 an hour. In my old job, I made $180,000 a year. But I worked about 2,500 hours. That's $72 an hour. So yes, I'm making less per hour, but I'm working 60 hours a month instead of 200. That's the math nobody talks about. You can make less money and have a better life, if you're willing to live smaller. So, would I recommend this? Here's my honest answer. It depends on what you're running from and what you're running toward. If you're burned out and miserable and your job is eating your soul, yes, leave. But have a plan. Have savings. Have a realistic picture of what comes next. If you love your work and you're just tired, maybe you don't need to quit. Maybe you need boundaries, a better manager, a sabbatical, a therapist. Not everyone needs to move to a farm, but everyone deserves to feel alive in their own life. Here's my advice if you're thinking about this. 1. Start small. You don't have to burn it all down. Take a week off, a real week. No laptop. See what happens. 2. Calculate your real hourly rate. You might be making less than you think when you factor in the hours you actually work. 3. Practice doing nothing. Seriously. Sit on your couch for 30 minutes with no phone. See how it feels. If it feels terrible, work on that before you quit your job. 4. Build your runway. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. I have 18 months of expenses saved. That's why I can do this. Without that cushion, I'd be panicking. 5. Let go of the highlight reel. My life is not Instagram worthy most days. It's me covered in dirt, failing to fix a faucet, eating pasta alone. And that's okay. Final thought. 2 weeks in, here's what I know. This life isn't easier. It's different. It's not stress-free. The stress is just different. Instead of worrying about sprint deadlines, I'm worrying about my septic system. Instead of imposter syndrome, I have identity crisis. But here's the difference. The stress is mine. It's not artificial stress created by corporate culture. It's real stress about real things in my real life. And somehow, that feels more manageable. I'm not saying everyone should quit their job and move to a farm. But I am saying, if you're living a life that doesn't feel like yours, you have permission to change it. It won't be a smooth transition. It won't be Instagram perfect. But it might be the most honest thing you ever do. Thanks for being here. Drop a comment and tell me, what would your ideal day look like if you weren't constrained by your job? I'm genuinely curious. And if you want to follow this journey, the messy parts and the good parts, hit subscribe. I'll keep showing up honestly. Take care, and remember, your life doesn't have to look like anyone else's version of success.